Good evening. Wild weather has lashed parts of the southeast with fast, ferocious storms passing over a short time ago. Coomera on the Gold Coast was one of the hardest hit areas with large hailstones and heavy rain. A tree also fell on a car, trapping 2 people. Spring at Coomera looked more like winter. From our chopper, the entire suburb covered in a blanket of hail. Parks and front lawns turned white. It could have been a set from nearby Movie World. It was similar at Pacific Pines. Backyard, anything but a playground. Gold Coast canals looked like boiling cauldrons as large hailstones rained down. Residents were worried their homes would be next. Entire suburbs transformed in a matter of minutes. The rain flooded into homes and ice-lined doorways on verandas.
It's melting really quickly now, but when it happens, the hail was already up to here.
A wind gust of nearly 140 kilometres an hour was recorded at Upper Coomera. A fallen tree crushed this car. 2 people inside at the time were taken to hospital while the street was closed off. The wild weather warning stretched from the Gold Coast through Logan, Brisbane and the Sunshine Coast. The hail hit this home at Wishart so hard it put holes in the patio. Emergency services received 88 calls for help in just 40 minutes. Traffic on the M1 was brought to a standstill, causing even more problems for those trying to get home. An annoyance for some, but an adventure for others.
Darren Curtis is at Upper Coomera, and despite so much hail, there doesn't appear to be too much damage to property.
Melissa, I think we're going to see a lot of people reporting water damage at some point tonight because a lot of their gutters and their drainage systems were simply full of hail, and the water has just flowed into their homes and tore shade sails and things like that as well. This is probably one of the luckiest incidents that we've seen here, where a large tree collapsed onto that father and daughter as they were heading home from school. They didn't even know this tree was about to fall. They were coming around the corner here and it just collapsed upon them. They're both in hospital with mild concussion. It's also a very slow run on the M1 for everybody heading home from Brisbane tonight. It's still a couple of hours after the storm, and there's hail still probably 20 or 30 centimetres deep in some areas alongside the motorway. So a very slow trip for people heading back to the Gold Coast tonight, Melissa.
All right, thanks for the advice, Darren.
And Gary Youngbury joins us now. Gary, it was a fast-moving system.
It was very rapid indeed, this storm, and with fast-moving storms, they're normally severe. Captured quite well on our city sky cam. Look, some small hailstones in the city at times, but certainly no damage there. The radar shows from early afternoon, they started as isolated storms. Then around 3 o'clock, we had this line start to form. Then the destructive storms from around 4 o'clock from the Gold Coast through to Jacobs Well, all the way up to around Caloundra. But they've now started to clear. What will happen tomorrow? All the details coming up in our full weather app.
All right, thanks, Gary.